We just learned a lot about the Devils' future. Unfortunately, some of it seemed coming, but finally heading in the right direction, something we were hoping for. Let's talk about it. Welcome in to Devils Digest. Thanks for being here. We want you all here, though. 44% of you aren't subscribed. We want you all here as the Devils off season gets underway. We want to talk about it, and obviously some things happen during the year, and there's got to be some type of solution, and injuries were one of them. Needed a solution there. Jesper, Bratt, Luke Hughes, both undergoing shoulder surgery. Now, with Luke Hughes, in game one when he got hurt, you kind of knew, unfortunately, his year was done. He injured the same shoulder he had hurt earlier on. Didn't get surgery to start the season. There was no real way he was getting back on the ice after he re-injured that shoulder. So you kind of saw that one coming. With Jesper Bratt, I don't think any of us knew that Jesper Bratt was hurt. Played really well down the stretch, played well in the playoffs. We don't know exactly when it happened. He didn't miss any games. So that was definitely maybe a surprising one, even though it felt like at one point everyone on the team was up for injury. I mean, looking at past years, previous years with the Devils, it was bad the season before. This year was just something else. And I mean, I look at other playoff teams, and you really don't see that many injuries with one playoff team and be able to stick into a playoff spot. The Devils found a way to stick in a playoff spot all season long. Actually, they were the only team that was in a playoff spot from game 1 to game 82, even with all the injuries. But they're starting to fix it up a little bit. There is more, though. Johnathan, Kovacevic, Brenden, Dillon. Kovacevic not expected to be ready for camp. Brenden, Dillon still trying to figure out, working with him, seeing where his timeline's going to be. Don't have a full update on that. You can go ahead and pause it and read the whole thing. But basically, Johnathan Kovacevic not expected to be ready for camp. Brenden, Dillon still waiting to see exactly when he's coming back. It was a neck injury, so I'm sure they're going to be careful with that. You don't want to, rush that. Devils are pretty good about, not rushing players back. I mean, you kind of wondered about Siegenthaler, but Siegenthaler's going over to go play in the Worlds. So they're pretty good about taking their time. Luke Hughes didn't get back on the ice. Jack Hughes went and got surgery. Devils pretty good about not rushing players back. You don't want to, obviously you're in the playoffs, you want to play, and Brenden Dillon said it himself. He was ready to go play in the third period. You don't want to risk somebody's career. When it's a neck injury or a serious injury like that, you don't want to go and risk their career. It's not worth it. There's more to hockey than, winning a series. More to life than just hockey, I should probably say. Both statements are true. But, we wish all the Devils the best of luck in their recovery. I mean, just kind of a shame position to be in for the players, fans, the team in general. You never want to see injury, and unfortunately, the Devils dealt with a lot. We actually have a full breakdown of the injuries this season. I just read off Luke Hughes, Jesper Bratt, Johnathan Kovacevic, Brenden Dillon. Jack Hughes, we knew was out for the year. Simone Nemec's dealing with some things. We saw that Brett Pesce was, game time decision towards the end of that series. Kurtis Lazar, was kind of in and out of the lineup. And that was interesting because when you looked at their fourth line center spot, they never were sure with who they wanted to go with. And I always felt that Kurtis Lazar was the best player for that position and didn't play a playoff game. Only played 48 games during the regular season. So it kind of shows that more so than, he wasn't maybe producing the way he was or wasn't, playing the way, not getting the type of season he wanted. I think a lot more of it was the injury. I mean, the injury impacted his play. He only had 5 points this year. He missed a lot of games. They didn't really have a fourth-line center. So I think the injury played a lot into that. And, it's a pretty big list. But most players outside of Kovacevic and Brenden Dillon expected to be ready for camp. Now, when you look at all these injuries, and you see what happened in the Devils season. Devils going from, one of the better teams in the league, one of the better scoring teams in the league, stayed top power play, top penalty kill, but you saw the drop-off. They weren't really that good of a team in the second half of the season. They played a Carolina team that traded away their best players, arguably their 2 best players, and they lost in 5. It definitely was a storyline. Going into this offseason, and Tom Fitzgerald said it before, he wants to go build depth. Now, the best way to build your depth is getting top-end talent. You have to go and get stars. There's a reason stars get paid more money. They are more important. The best way to fix your depth is to put those players who are in your lineup who are maybe, not producing as a top 6 forward, move them down the lineup and go get somebody who is going to produce as a top 6 forward. I mean, we heard great news earlier that our shiny Gritsuk is going to come over and play for the Devils. That's a cheap option. Gives you a little bit, allows you to spend a little bit more for another top 6 player. The Devils will need to do that during the offseason. I mean, you looked at that Carolina series. Although Simon Nemec played absolutely great, probably the best hockey he's played of his career, definitely the best this season. It wasn't ideal going in with him and Casey as a defensive pairing in an elimination game. Probably not at all during the playoffs. They're younger. They still make mistakes. They're still learning. Wasn't probably an ideal situation for the Devils to be in. That's a situation they found themselves in. So when you're Tom Fitzgerald this offseason, he has to find a way to, again, get past these injuries. Tried to last offseason. I mean, look, this was kind of unpredictable how bad it was going to get. But, be ready for it. It's unfortunate to say, but injuries are part of the game. Tom Fitzgerald has to go into this offseason. He has to get a little bit better in the top 6. He has to create a little bit more depth. He has to have, defensemen ready when they do have injuries to Kovacevic, to Pesce, to Siegenthaler, Hamilton. I can keep rattling off names. There's a whole list that you guys just saw. It's definitely going to be an interesting offseason in terms of how the injuries, how it's going to play into his plan. Is he a little bit more aggressive? Does he get another, forward? Like I said earlier, they traded away Tyler Toffoli after just trading for him and then kind of decided that, the top 6 is good. We're ready there. Well, I mean, that struggled this year. So, it'll be interesting offseason, see how he plays it, see how he works with the cap money that he has. Let me know what you think in the comments with the injuries and what you'd like to see Tom Fitzgerald to kind of combat this during the offseason. Let me know in the comments, and please click the subscribe button. 45% of you aren't subscribed. We want all 100% of you subscribed so we can talk Devils hockey all offseason. It's going to be fun. Draft coming up, even though we're not maybe as involved as other teams. But this is going to be it's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. We're going to have some fun during the offseason, and we'll get back to October relatively soon. Enjoy summer, though. We'll talk to you guys sometime either today or tomorrow. And hopefully you guys hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you all real soon. All right, take care, guys.